In the early days of GTA Online, there were many struggles that most of the newer player base never had to experience, thank God. So today I will point out to all of you some of these struggles and also remind the older players that they are old in real life as well. And if you do enjoy this video, please subscribe and leave a like. It does help me out a lot, getting me exposed to more people so I can grow and not be a little guy on YouTube anymore. Although it is cool because I get to kind of know more people, I get to kind of see more of the recurring commenters, but it would be nice to grow, and I hope all of you can experience that with me. Starting out with the biggest difference between current GTA Online and old GTA Online is the sheer amount of things to do for new players. In fact, there are too many things to do at times. But in the early days of GTA Online, there wasn't much to do in terms of linear content. Sandbox games always have activities to do with friends and whatnot, but from a missions perspective, it was quite bad. Contact missions were hands down the best way to make money and rank up as well, and probably the best contact mission to do was of course the famous Rooftop Rumble. The biggest problem that came with this, however, was the fact that the game incentivized you as the player to idle outside of the mission completion area for a little bit, because the longer the mission lasted, the more money and RP you got until a certain threshold was reached. Looking back on it, this just wasn't a fun thing to do. We all did it because it was the most effective way to make money and rank up, so we can actually do the things we wanted to do, but the process itself was quite annoying indeed. In current GTA Online, however, none of this is a problem at all. If you deadass want to deliver pizzas, you can. If you want to run a drug empire, you can. If robbing banks is more your speed, have at it. If all of this sounds good to you, well guess what, you can do it all at once. There are tons of ways to make money and RP, and the weekly bonuses usually incentivizes the player base to play one business for the week until the next one comes around. But by no means are you able to be forced into one contact mission as the main way to make money and RP anymore, and thankfully all the new players have no idea about the struggle of it. And of course, how could I fail to mention when we were all so down bad that we had no money for the mechanic? I used to keep some NPC cars I could sell for 9,000 just in case I ever reached such a low point, which I actually did many times in fact. And if you're curious, a couple of cars that sell for $9,000, which is the highest amount an NPC car can sell for, is the Felon and the Baller, both variants of it. Now though, it's so rare you will ever be this broke in GTA Online, this barely happens, and if it does, you can just do a quick headhunter and make a quick 20,000 and pay off your bills, like you're some broke college student who's fiending for some cash, just so you could immediately use it. Another struggle that new players drastically take for granted that they don't have to experience is doing a heist for the first time. Now you may be like, oh, I want to do a heist for the first time or be around when it's fresh and new, but there are some difficulties that come with it, particularly the Doomsday Heist. There are a million guides on how to do all acts of the Doomsday Heist quickly and effectively, but it was not always like that at the start. The third act was so hard to do, I actually put off doing it for a while just because it was simply too difficult. The hacks particularly were very hard to do, and they were the first of its kind, and you had to have someone defending you so you don't get shot at while you can do the hack. And if you or your defender died, you had to redo all of the hacks again from the first one, and I think there were 4 of them. None of them gave any checkpoints, which was incredibly annoying. So if you died on the last one, it was back to the start for you. Not to mention the juggernauts that just absolutely blast you from the front or behind, no pause, no diddy. If they see you for longer than 2 seconds, you are dead. Now though, most people know how to play around the juggernauts and do the hacks, as Rockstar has reused them numerous times since then. However, we can all kind of still experience this today if Rockstar releases another heist or mission that is new in general, and I wish you all good luck as you will definitely need it. Another small struggle that got quite annoying at times was the lack of information the map gave you about other players. If someone was in a helicopter, for example, there was no icon for it, so they looked like a normal player on the map. But in reality, they were camping outside your apartment in a buzzard and you'd be none the wiser. Thankfully, this is not an issue anymore though, as some of vehicles even have their own unique icons on the map for just one vehicle, which is pretty crazy. And of course, jets have their own icons, and some jets even have unique icons like the Raiju, should you ever see one that isn't off the radar waiting to attack its very docile prey. And luckily for new players, they will never have to experience the struggle of not knowing if someone is in a helicopter or jet, or if they're just going really fast in a car by simply viewing the map. Another minor quality of life feature these new guys and gals take for granted is that whenever you call your car, it gets delivered easily and quickly, it is reliable, most of the time it comes perfectly. That's what she said. This was not the case in the old days. We had my guy named Johnny on the spot, and let's just say Johnny was not the best driver by any means. I don't know who gave that dude a license, but it should be revoked right away. Sometimes the car would come damaged, other times the car wouldn't come at all, and even sometimes you would literally see Johnny in your car and he would drive away in your whip because he claimed that he couldn't get to your location. The AI for Johnny was hella clunky to say the least, and while I do miss him at times and the nostalgic feeling of not knowing what condition my car would come in, I am thankful that I no longer have to worry about my car not arriving or arriving in damaged condition, although it does happen sometimes because the game spawns you right in front of traffic and then the traffic just hits it and then I proceed to send them to the Shadow Realm, but that only happens sometimes. So next time you call your car, be grateful that it spawns reliably and you don't have to worry about it not spawning at all, because if Johnny was driving a whip, that should be gone. One of my personal favorite OG struggles, however, was still being able to be killed very easily in passive mode. Passive mode back in my day really only protected you against bullets. Players couldn't really shoot you and that was about it. You could have still gotten killed by being ran over, by being shot with a fire hose on top of a fire truck if someone was creative enough and knew how to do it, by having another player get cops on them and standing in front of you. Actually, I think you could still be killed by that one. But now there are far less ways to die in passive mode. It actually functions as a passive mode, and thank God, because back then it barely did anything. You can still get killed by quite a few things while in passive mode today, like a player bailing out of a car at the last second. Thus, the car loses its protection against you and you can get pummeled. You might be able to die via Merryweather Fire Strike as well. I'm not too sure though, I can't confirm, I haven't tried it, maybe they fixed it at some point, but in the past you definitely could have. I will say though, on PC, I see comments sometimes where people are like, oh, you have it easy on console because passive mode actually functions as a passive mode, while on PC it's more cosmetic, and that does suck because modders probably could still kill you. I mean, they could just cage you and you're stuck there, you can't do anything, probably have to quit the application. So that really sucks. Sorry for my PC people out there. My only advice is play invite only. A great quality of life feature, however, that wasn't in the game at the start is just the extremely fast and easy ways to traverse the map, the sheer amount of them. If you are stuck on Mount Chiliad, you can just join a setup invite and teleport to your crib in 2 seconds. In the early days of GTA Online, if you were stuck on Mount Chiliad, my dude, the only way you were getting off of it was either leaving the game or taking about 20 minutes to hike your ass down. And of course, we have HSW now that makes cars extremely quick, and in the OG days of GTA Online, the fastest car topped out at 121 miles per hour, which was the Z-Type, I believe. Wasn't exactly a rocket. This, however, was kind of a double-edged sword, because while you can travel the map much easier and safer, the map as a result feels much smaller because of how easy it is to traverse. This is a problem in most games that have mobility creep, and it's not too big of an issue here, but I do miss the days of driving all the way up to Pulido thinking that it was so far away, when in today's GTA Online, it's just a short trip north. Hopefully GTA 6 can replicate this feeling and not introduce jets too quickly and easily to the players, but only time will tell for that matter. And that is everyone, how to make a short and sweet video reminding all of you guys that you are indeed old. Actually, I don't really know, I don't really check the analytics too much. I think it kind of messes with you, it makes you very analytical. I don't know, I don't really check them, so maybe I think most of you guys are around my age, like the high school, college, I'm not too sure, but most of you guys at this point are pretty old. We were all little kids, like we legally could not get the game back then. So if you could legally get the game now, my dude, you have achieved Unk status. And thank you all for watching. Have a great day or night or evening. And I actually just lied to you. Don't have a great day or night or evening yet. If you would like to become a channel member, all you have to do is click the subscribe button, which you should be already. I'm trying to grow the channel. Hopefully you have 100,000 subscribers maybe by the end of the year. That's a pretty tough thing to accomplish, but you never know, gang. We'll see. And it will be replaced by a button that says join. Click the join button for more details. And now you can have a good night or evening or day. You don't have to become a channel member, but if you'd like to, it's there. The option's there. You get a cool license plate. Be like my dog Byron here. Get a custom license plate on one of my cars in GTA Online by random. And hopefully all of you have a great day or night or evening for the 3rd time. And goodbye.